नमस्कार, आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत। वी वुड लाइक टू वेलकम यू ऑल ऑन इंडिपेंडेंट रिसर्च एथिक्स सोसाइटीज आयुष समृद्धि इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार सीरीज and the milestone is 1813. Thank you again, डॉक्टर सैकत जी, अग्निहोत्री सर, सभी को मेरा नमन है। आप जुड़ते हैं तो अलग सी एक चेतना आती है। बोलने वाले, धारा प्रवाह बोलने वाले डॉक्टर सैकत बसु एंड डॉक्टर सुपर्णा सान्याल मुखर्जी मैडम दोनों बंगाल और कनाडा से जुड़ते हैं। मैं उनका स्वागत करता हूं, बहुत बहुत हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। एंड टुडे इज वर्ल्ड हैबिटेट डे, energizing youth to create a better urban future. Definitely youth can develop urban culture, develop urban future. Youth is only doing, I am telling me, not generally, we are retired person, but I can commit this definitely that our youth is very dynamic, enthusiastic, want to learn, want to create something, want to develop something which was not there in our age before 50 years. No facility, no limit, no means restrictions were there. So definitely era has changed, and now we have to cope up with this era. I would like to invite Professor V.K. Agnihotri sir for his welcome address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Professor Pawan Sharma ji. Again, it's a great pleasure that we are stepping in on a third consecutive webinar on today's. और बहुत बढ़िया टॉपिक रखा है हैबिटेट के बारे में। निश्चित रूप से इंसान आज भी अगर किसी से कहीं से पूछो कि आप कहाँ के रहने वाले हो, उसको बताना पड़ता है। तो ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जीवन में। एक व्यक्ति का एक निवास स्थान होता है। हमारे आदरणीय दोनों आज के स्पीकर डॉक्टर सैकत कुमार बसु जी एंड डॉक्टर सुपर्णा मुखर्जी जी अपने में खुद एक माइलस्टोन है, जो किसी भी विषय पर बिना किसी तैयारी के और पूरे मनोयोग के साथ, पूरी नॉलेज के साथ में सिद्ध करा देते हैं कि इस टॉपिक की वैल्यू क्या है। इस टॉपिक के साथ में हम क्या कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जो डिस्कशन में ले सकते हैं। हमारे यहाँ पक्षी होते हैं, वो माइग्रेट करते हैं तो उनके दो स्थान हो जाते हैं, उनके दो हैबिटेट रहती है। लेकिन वो तो दूसरी चीज में मकान बना के रखते हैं, छोड़ते हैं, फिर आ जाते हैं। साइबेरियन पक्षी हरिद्वार में खूब आते हैं, ज्यादा जाड़ा आ जाता है, लेकिन एविएशन उसको करते हैं। लेकिन अभी जो मनुष्य के लिए चर्चा की जाए तो जो अर्बनाइजेशन हो रहा है या रूरल से सब अर्बन और अर्बन, ये जो भागादौड़ मची हुई है, इससे यूथ का तो एक करंट सिनेरियो विकास हो रहा है और विकास के लिए वो आगे आ रहा है। नए नए न्यूज को मिल रहे हैं, नए पॉसिबिलिटीज जो गाँव में नहीं है। लेकिन बड़े बड़े IITians बड़े बड़े बिलियनर्स होके फॉरेन से कमा के और उसके बाद फिर वो जैविक खाद के लिए और हिमालय और जम्मू के नेचर के जाके वादियों में जाके अपना नया सेटअप डाल रहे हैं और उसके बाद वो फिर हजारों लाखों रुपए रोज के हिसाब कमा रहे हैं, यानी कितनों को जॉब भी दे रहे हैं। तो वो भी एक चेंज हुआ हमारा, जब अपने से पूर्ण संतुष्ट है, पूरी एजुकेशन हो गई है, पूरी कमाई हो गई है, फिर वो चलते हैं गाँव की तरफ या नेचर की तरफ, प्राकृतिक क्षेत्रों की तरफ। तो ये भी एक रिवर्स गियर लगने की स्थिति भी आई है। तो दोनों ही एंगल से हमारे आदरणीय स्पीकर्स विल डेफिनेटली डू जस्टिस टू इन्फॉर्म इन बोथ फ्रॉम बोथ एंगल्स टू द प्रेजेंट टॉपिक। So with these words, I again send back to Professor Sharma ji for the formal of.
बहुत अच्छा सर। I would like to welcome again Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee madam and Dr. Saikat Kumar Basu ji. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. You are the pillars of our AYUSH Samriddhi. Both of you are really excellent, great quality orator. And without preparation, if anyone can communicate like this, definitely great knowledge. Thank you very much. अग्निहोत्री सर, मैं वो सॉरी सैकत बसु जी को इनवाइट करता हूँ, थोड़ा संभालिएगा सर।
शर्मा जी थोड़ा मैडम आगे है, उसे छोड़ देते हैं पहले।
सॉरी मैडम, हाँ मैडम जी, सॉरी अग्निहोत्री सर।
I would now Thank you. Now I would like to invite Madam Dr. Suparna Sandal Mukherjee ji for her views on this very topic, that how we should uh, emphasize and how we should give the importance on this topic, the habitat and the special effect to the youth and the young energy. Dr. Suparna Sandal Mukherjee, ma'am. Namaskar.
नमस्ते नमस्ते सभी को मेरी ओर से प्रणाम शुभेच्छा नवरात्र की शुभकामनाएं। आज शुभ चतुर्थी है तो इसलिए सभी को शुभ चतुर्थी का हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। Very good evening to the all dignitaries over here. So this is a very important topic today again, that the habitat. We are habitating in this world. Today is the World Habitat Day, which has been observed in United Nations in 1985. From then, it has been observed
Yes, ma'am. क्या बात?
internet problem. From this internet problem, the connection was not there.
जी.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. Sorry for disturbing for this internet problem. So what happened? So in this World Habitat Day, we can say that there is a several scientist who has been said and who has quoted that what is the world the fact, but when the day is continuing, the particular day is observing all over the world. Why we observing this Habitat Day? Because this is we have the land area, the marked land area. We cannot encourage and we cannot develop our land area. On this land area, we have to survive each and every day, and all have to survive in each and every day. Especially Charlie Crusoe. Charlie Crusoe has been said that the whether or not is on society, the reality is that Gen Y will soon have to assume the responsibility for a world crafted by previous generations. That means he has been emphasized upon the generations to generation where we are surviving in this world. So that's why it is our natural habitat. That means it is our right, birthright, where we are surviving and why we are surviving, how we are surviving. So all are amalgamated with each other. Then the housing is the human right. There can be no fairness or justice in a society in which some live in houselessness or in the shadow of that risk, while others cannot even imagine it. Jordan Flattery, he also quoted this point, this the why we are surviving, what is the necessity for our surviving. So do not despair, my friend. Today is theirs, but the future is ours, said the Rodman Philbrick. So these are the conception of the social scientist, especially the sociologist, philosophist, social anthropologist, they have been earmarked and they have been emphasized on the philosophical point of view, their habitation and why we are habitating in this world. And basically, we have seen that the nature has accepted us. That's why we are surviving. When the day will come, nature would not accept us, the day we can survive in this world. So, to encouraging the younger generation to participate in the planning of their surroundings to survive in this world, so we have to encourage them and we have to tell them and we have to assure them. So, how we will use this world, because habitation is needed. So, three basic points, three basic needs in our life, that is the food, shelter, and clothes. So that's why the shelter is a very important part, because the day, each and every day, the population increasing, the population boom is happening. So shelter is getting very deterioration because shelter is the security, shelter is the place we can share our emotions, we can share our knowledge, we can share our everything in the so very much disturbing this network. However, so we need the shelter. Shelter is our prime factor, and this shelter for this World Habitat Day, the importance of this World Habitat Days, which can generate the awareness of the basic rights for the shelter. This World Habitat Days is also observed annually in the first Monday of the October. So today is the first Monday of October, and we are observing the World Habitat Day to remind that everyone is entitled to a comfortable and secure home. It also contributes to increasing awareness of the significance of environmental preservation in the face of the growing urbanization. First of all, we should know that there is no shelter. Previously, the human being was taking shelter under the tree. So when we are started our civilization, and when the civilized people is developing their ideological point of view, then we develop the sheltering. That means the first the trees, then the some raw materials from the forest. Then we started sheltering with the when the Iron Age has come, then listen, at this time, at this juncture, we are started our sheltering the concrete. So this developmental aspect and this ideological point of view has been developed, and we have built up our shelter according to our need. So in some cases, we have seen there are several types of shelter the human being has been made by their own needs. So in this case, we can emphasize that, and we can say that numerous events which have been held in the various places across the globe to increase the awareness of the day, because our land area is deteriorating and we cannot enlarge our land area. Though the sea level is also getting high, if the sea level is getting high, so there are so many cities can goes down in under the sea. So we should protect us. We can save us because the natural habitat is needed for us. So we cannot stay in the natural habitat which we were practicing and which was the started and which we are habituated with it. But nowadays we have been habituated in the urbanization. So urban people are very different phenomena they are maintaining to go to the high rise. So one we have started the skyscraper. So this the way. So when we can give the shelter for our the fellow citizens, because the we need to continue our agriculture. We It's very much difficult to continue with this. Difficult to continue with this.
आज जब नेट की बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, नेट बहुत परेशान कर रहा है। जैसे आपके थॉट्स बार बार बीच में ब्रेक हो रहे हैं।
Yeah, I think due to heavy rain in some parts of Bengal,
Oh,
there possibly could be a disruption for that purpose.
yeah, because so many times it was not disturbing earlier.
It is getting disconnected for some reason or stuff.
Basically, in Bengal,
Yeah.
would you like to know regarding the Bengal for habitat system?
Yes,
Madam,
Ah,
the internet is causing a little bit disruption. Can you just log out and then log in? Then it will. Then I think the problem will be solved.
I have logged it out and again logged
You have
in.
entered. Now it is clear. Okay, please go on. Yeah.
So basically, Bengal people are suffering from the land deterioration. There is a forest, and the forest land acquired. Then it has been observed and it has been targeted that 2030 there should be the one third of the land area should be covered by the forest. But it is not possible because we need the shelter. So when we are giving shelter and getting shelter, that's why the difference and the difficulties are going on. When the difficulties are going on, the people are surviving in the natural habitat, but nowadays they cannot. They have the houses, the habitation is very dangerous situation. There is a wild animal, the man-animal conflict is going on, especially the forest area, especially the tribals, those who are living in the deep inside the forest range. And when they are living in the deep inside the forest, there are so many problems are having because snakes bites are there, the elephant is there, then the bison is there, leopard is there. So there are so many man animal conflict is going on, still they are surviving in the forest area, and especially their house is not the concrete. So in this regard, it is a very deterioration process of this habitation, but we need the habit, that means the shelter. We are habituated with the shelter, but we need the shelter. So our government to some extent is taking there is a India AYUSH Yojana and the other Yojana tries, there are so many Yojanas out there, but the actual sufferer, the actual people, the actual need is not getting and not benefited with this all the sectors that government has provided and facilitated them. So these are the problems is also going on for the habitation process, but still we are continuing, we are proceeding our habitation process, and the shelter for our betterment of the life. Here also very much important that the Ayush has the wider aspect for this habitation, because the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, they need it and they survive in this global health and global environment, and they find themselves and they can take their shelter by themselves and their choice. But only the human being cannot support it, the habitation by their own choice, because they have to survive and they have to find it out of their own choices. And Ayush can provide us the uh, healthy situation, healthy process where we can develop our home meditation. That means the consumption of the medications. We can get the medications and from the nature and nature orientation. That's why when we are preparing our the concrete building, we are also developing. There are several Ayush plants which is very important for us for and giving us the enormous potentiality for the benefit of our health. So in that cases, we can say that the habitation is very essential part of our life and we need it. And this habitation process we have to develop. We have to encourage our younger generation how to get the proper habitation and how we can use our land area and how we can develop our the building construction along with the urbanization. So urban people are very good. They are getting all the facilities of this urban conditions, but the rural area there is no they are not benefited by any kinds of modernization. So what may happen, what will be happen, because today is we are living in the 21st century and this is 2024. So this 2024, if our target area is 2030, then what we can develop and what will be our roadmap to reach to the people to be benefited. It is not possible that all the rural areas should be urbanized, but we have to develop our habitation and habitat in the rural area and with the all facilities which we are getting in the city area, the urbanized area. Not, it should not be formed as like urban orientation, but the rural urbanization. That means the rural senses are there, rural habitation is there according to the modern amenities, so we can prepare the global village. So if we can see, if we can imagine that igloo is in the ice areas and when the ice is there, but we can form the igloo type house in the rural area where we can get the better oxygenation, at the same time the better benefit orientation, and we can also develop the ayush generate the ayush medicine and plants, and we can develop the biodiversity at the same time the habitation process. So this is the this should be the foresee of the next 5 years plan. Thank you very much. Thanks to giving me such an opportunity to say something on this Ayush Samriddhi platform. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Just pointed out on crucial points pertaining towards today's topic. Now I would like to invite our one of the very talented speaker, Dr. Shekhar Kumar Vasuji, for his views on today's topic. Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharmaji. Thank you, Agnihotri-ji. It is a pleasure always to be here. And the steady increase in the number of our webinars makes me very, very proud to be associated with this platform. I would like, before I start, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations for two very good news associated with Suparna Mukherjee. I would like to share it with this platform. First of all, that she has worked on a documentary on a very endemic primitive tribe of Western Odisha. These are called Dongriya Kond. And this movie has been now certified by CBFC and they will be released in Kolkata on 20th of October, just after the Durga Puja celebration. So heartiest congratulations to Madam for that. And the second one is we have been advocating for traditional folk dance of West Bengal, which is not just restricted to West Bengal. It is found in West Bengal, Odisha, and in Jharkhand. This folk dance form is called Chou dances. It depicts the stories of the Ramayana and Mahabharata, just like Kathakali does, but in a different form. and we have been advocating it for a long time to be considered to be as a classical dance form now, because they are very closely associated, integrated with the culture of these three states. The first major paper of these, prepared by both Suparnaji and myself, has now been accepted, and it has just been published in an international journal of huge repute. So, where we have advocated about the recognition of Chow dance from anthropological and socio-cultural aspect to be recognized, and requested government of India to accept at least it as a one of the classical dances, new classical dance for India. So heartiest congratulations, madam, for her hard efforts. And what is important about the work that she has already done is also related to habitat. So there has been an internet disruption, so we lost out a few important points that madam had highlighted about habitat, and it was mostly restricted to our urban life, human life, the philosophical part. I'm now going to take about mostly the ecological part, and for the next generation. Sharmaji mentioned about this next generation stuff, and for three or I think for three organizations as I served, like both from India and other countries, India, Canada, and from Brazil, I served as judges for their international photography competition, and it was quite exciting to see that youngsters from whether they're school students or college or university students, they have captured wildlife, how habitat is being modified, how habitat is changed, and they have participated in these international competitions where I was sitting as a judge, and I feel that our next generation is getting really well educated, and they have highlighted very important issues. So we have a future in that particular sense, that around the world I see, whether it is developing or underdeveloped or developing countries, there is a trend of our next generation taking more responsibility. Their education and awareness and sensitivity has been more than us, what we have learned from our schools. So our primary, secondary, tertiary education has now integrated these sensitivity studies, and I think it has percolated quite good downwards. So we are educated, we are aware, we are sensitive about this. The only challenge now is to make it work on the paper. Like we have worked so extensively on the education and awareness, but we need to highlight upon in many ways the opportunity to make this habitat survive. Now, before we move into with these good wishes of the survival of the habitat, we need to highlight a few important points. Why are we having the degradation? Like, why are we having this Habitat Day? It is because we are seeing a trend of degraded habitats around the world. Around the world, and with particular reference to countries in the tropics, subtropics, neotropic area, which means countries that belongs to Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Now, there is biodiversity, there is lots of ecosystem, not only restricted to Asia, Africa, and Latin America. There is ecosystem in Arctic, Antarctic, even across the Western world, in the European continent, in North and South America. But if you look into the map, and you will see the diversity is concentrated more towards tropical, subtropical countries, and most of them located in the global south, or they are restricted to the continent of South America, Africa, Central America, and Asia, where a vast part of this population has been colonized by the European colonial masters for time. Their wealth has been looted. These countries have just started their journey in the last 50 to 70 years, and they had humongous challenges of survival, humongous challenges of ethnic issues and stuff, and humongous challenges in supporting their growing population. And as a consequence, we have become more and more dependent on our scanty forest resources, both for timber as well as for non-timber forest products. Now, what are the factors that really degrade this quality of this environment, particularly from an ecological perspective, is the overpopulation, right? Like as the human population is increasing beyond our control, and in developing, underdeveloped countries where the economy could not sustain the existing population, the rise of population is itself a huge challenge, where the government or the administration do not have the resources or the intention or the strong political will to cater to this population. Then what happens? They become very dependent on the available natural resources. And what is that available natural resources? Is the forest around you. And as we, excuse me, As more and more people are venturing and moving into the forest, we are over harvesting the forest. We are taking out, forages, grasses, fertilizers, material. We are grazing our animals inside the forest. We are even taking refuge inside the forest. Both several insurgent groups around the world, not just in India, are taking refuge in the forest, just like our Maoist forces or other such forces that operates in the northeast India, because they have become antisocial. They have got rejected and isolated from the society, and the only place where they could thrive and survive now are the forests. So there is extreme pressure on this forest in the marginalization of the forest. Our industry and agricultural areas are expanding because the population needs them, and as we are venturing these, we are integrating. We could not increase our land area much, but we could convert parts of the forest, although it is getting difficult. But there are, corrupt ways, and there is a strong political ways to help this, because animals don't vote, the forest could not vote, but people could. And as a consequences, we are converting forest into agricultural land and industrial areas. We are utilizing them for infrastructural purpose, but we are not working sincerely around the world in regenerating the forest. So as a consequences, our forest areas are reducing. Although in some countries they do show an increasing trend of forest, but their population is much, much lower. Finland saying that I have a huge forest resource and I'm protecting it with such a little population, or Canada indicating that we have one of the largest forests of the world, or Russia claiming we have largest forests of the world. It's true, but look at their population size. Their population size is so meager, and a vast part of their country is either less populated or underpopulated or with no population, because of the extremes of the environment in these areas. So these are helping and saving the environment, although there are trends of degradation. But in countries like India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and other countries, or Brazil, or Congo, or other African countries, if you go through them, it's because the poverty is pushing the people so much towards marginalization that they are pushed beyond their means to get into the forest and collect forest resources. They are collecting fuel wood. They are going to collect into the forest timber, which they are selling legally or illegally. Sometimes they are going for headloads of collection of fuel wood for sustenance, or they are buying or selling them in the market. Madam has done extensive research on these aspects and issues of how the forest laws that are designed to protect the forest has eroded our tribal life. So it's very, very pathetic, but it is very, very true in the sense that while we are trying to protect one species, we are making it vulnerable by not taking the human equation in the part of our conservation. So while in case of our habitat quality improvement, while we are looking for that, we have to always remember that we have to have the human factor included in that equation of conservation. So if you're trying to protect a forest and we are not concerned about the people around it, then the people around it is only going to destroy the forest. They are never going to become a tool in helping in the process of regeneration of the forest. The Kaziranga forest in Assam has shown a very successful model demonstrated by the government of Assam as well as the government of India, how stakeholders, people living around the forest who are associated with poaching, who are associated in integrating into the forest, stealing forest resources, abusing the forest rights that they have now been integrated into a part of the forest conservation process by making them stakeholders. So any forest laborers that the forest department needs to operate in the forest, they hire from the local villages. There are numerous ecotourism centers that have developed in and around the forest. Trackers or tourist guides, everything comes from the local village areas. So the people who live around them and who do not have sufficient work to survive outside their agriculture throughout the year could not sustain unless these kind of initiatives have been taken. And as you could see, there is indeed still poaching of rhinoceros and other animals happening in the Kaziranga area, but the number has reduced successfully, way beyond our imagination. Where there used to be 20, 30 killing of rhinos every year, now it has got down under 10. Even that 10 should vanish if we are capable enough in sealing the Indo-Myanmar border, where this is the huge source of infiltration. and degradation of the habitat quality, and also where people come in with sophisticated arms and move into those reserve forests. Our forest people who are protecting the forest, the first line of defense that we have, are going into the forest with the 303 rifle that our British colonials have left. While who they are fighting with those people who have automatic rifles and powerful gadgets like night vision camera, walkie talkies and everything, so that they can reach in every corner of the forest. And the poorest of the poor forest guard has a few bamboo stick to fight with those invincible part, and there is no protection for them. So it is necessary now, particularly in tropical, subtropical countries, developing countries like India, where we have huge resources, where we have huge natural resources, where the biodiversity is significant. The forest force needs to be upgraded to the level of a paramilitary. So the forest force needs to be upgraded to the level of CISF, like the Central Industrial Security Forces, where they are trained with paramilitary forces, provided with sophisticated guns. Once they get the confidence in protecting the forest and people are made stakeholders in the process of forest conservation, our quality of the forest is definitely going to improve. Our new generation has the education and awareness. Now we need to make them a part of this growing economy. As soon as we are able to have these rural youth or marginal youth or youth living as forest fringe residents, if we are able to integrate them in the process of this conservation, giving them some economic benefit, there will be an inconceivably ecological benefit down the line. We will have not to worry about that. The Kaziranga model has very successfully illustrated that. So degradation of forest, burning of the forest, particularly the slash and burn method of forest cultivation that we have in various parts of Northeast India and other countries too. This is a very destructive way of farming. These things need to change. These education and awareness among the very, very tribal communities, there are very little work being done, and there needs to be, people reaching out and helping them with the modern agricultural techniques so that they do not go and sort out new areas of the forest, burn them, and use them for a couple of years for growing crops and stuff, and then move to another part of the forest which they are burning, leaving a track of destructive forest paths. Now, during old ancient period, this system of cultivation was okay because the population was less. The number of people going and burning the forest for agricultural purpose was very, very little compared to the geographical area of the forest. But now the forest is reducing, but the number of people is increasing at an accelerated pace. This is causing the problem. And as you could see, the human animal conflict that we have, that elephants are coming out, rhinoceros are coming out, wild bison are coming out into the town cities, leopards coming out, sometimes tigers venturing into human settlements in Sundarban and other areas we hear about. It is not the animals which are venturing into the human areas. It is the human who has taken away the wild habitat and degraded the habitat beyond recognition or with irreversible damages, forcing these animals in search of food to come in contact with the humans. So definitely we could not change the human. We could not relocate all the human from the forested areas. So the best possible scenario and the best cat system is that we, for habitat quality development, we need to include the people who are living within and outside the forest as stakeholders of conservation, provide them the economic support, provide them some job that they can continue throughout the year outside agriculture, and you will see their great support in quality improvement of the forest and in the conservation part. So with this, I conclude my presentation today on the habitat improvement part. And the youth and the young generation are educated, aware. We need to integrate more of them, and we also need to have a strong political will. Because animals could not vote, most of our politicians, particularly in developing underdeveloped countries, do not want to put in fund, do not want to have those pledges for taking and protecting the quality of the habitat, because there is no votes associated with it. But as soon as people would realize that unless this environment and the quality of habitat that we are neglecting vanishes, our life in the cities, our life in the towns or municipalities, corporation areas, or even the rural areas or forested areas are going to degrade very severely. So there is this need of improvement in the quality of habitat, more planting of more trees like in the our urban areas, protecting of stray wildlife that comes out into the rural areas, education and awareness of the people to help work in close coordination with the forest department, and also making them stakeholders in the process. So once again, thank you very much, Sharmaji. Thank you very much, Agnihotri ji. Thanks to all the participants who are participating today in this program. Quite late, but still we are awake, and it is 1841 or 1843. We are not going to stop unless we get the Guinness Book of World Records. So I am very pleased and happy about that. So
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God has blessed me through you. Thank you very much. Really, thank you very much.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Thank you.
अग्निहोत्री सर, I would like to in अग्निहोत्री सर पहले कमेंट्स, उसके बाद मैं लंदन से डॉक्टर नवीन गुप्ता जी को बाद में आमंत्रित करेंगे अपन.
आज today Dr. Saket Kumar Basu ji has proved that he has now become the torch bearer of our mission, which is known as AYUSH SAMRIDDHI and IRES, and he will see that how it reaches to the destination uttered many times by yourself, your kind self rather, that how Guinness Book is made means force rather, I should say, that this much work has been done. So it's better to recognize by that sector also. Thank you so much, Dr. Saket Kumar Basu ji. It's a pleasure that Dr. Naveen Gupta ji, of course from London, Vaidya Naveen Gupta ji, Ayurveda Acharya, is with us, and
नमस्कार सर, बहुत नमस्कार सर.
आपकी वाणी सुनने को मिले ऐसी हमारी
दुर्गा पूजा
अभिलाषा
की
है.
बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. कहीं सफर कर रहे हैं नवीन जी?
Yes, the issue is that I'm in train, and within few minutes it will go underground, minus 12 level.
अरे गजब,
So
गजब.
I will not be able to reach, and I was just listening for a few minutes, only 5 minutes, and it was nice, and I was interested in knowing more about Arca. I mean, it's a kind of a, I mean, yeah. So, but anyhow, I missed the whole context. But I definitely will do watch on YouTube, and then only I'll be able to make my comments. But definitely everything is going good. And for the first time, I heard something from Mr. Basu, who was just talking, and that you're heading towards Guinness Book of Records. It's new to me.
You are in London?
Yes, yes.
Do you have any introduction in GWR, Guinness Book of World Record? Can any contact can be contacted? Now we are on the apex.
Right now not, but we do organize some seminars.
Please support our mission.
That
will be a great achievement for you.
Yeah, I will definitely. I will look into it. I will look into it. I will look into it. It's first time I hear about you. That it is. I already knew that you are somewhere. You are going towards something. I knew that, but not to the level of Guinness Book. Anyway, I wish all the best, and let's keep in touch. And I connect myself as often as I could. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Agnihotri sir.
So again, we are here to acknowledge all the contributions of our guest speakers of all the 3 webinars, and they have contributed a lot. For a small topic, a big contribution like ARC, Madar, and then Upavish, and it was a really good informative information session. The first one. The second one was the universal topic, having a smile and providing a smile to each and every known and unknown, to make the health more and more vital, to make the life more and more fruitful. And this third webinar was our based on habitat. It has been well designed by our Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee as well as Dr. Saket Kumar Basu ji, with all its principles and its possibilities, and also the today's crisis regarding the urbanization and all these things. So thank you very much to all the guest speakers. It's a pleasure that you are all contributing your time, your experience, your energy, everything. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Naveen ji. Thank you. Sutubhaji, thank you. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much. Please do join every day. Tomorrow again medical astrology, Vinshottari Dasa of Saturn, Shani, and sight day. Tips to improve sight. Very right. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Shubh Ratri. Good night.